Hi, this is Shade with Tax Sale Support with a brief video about one of the topics that we do all the time when it comes to the due diligence process, and that is performing comps. Let's just talk briefly about the role that it plays. It's an important part of the due diligence process and the research that we're going to perform. It's one of the things that helps us identify certain risks. It helps us in so many different ways performing comps. So let's talk for just a second about what it is and why we do it. First off, comps. It's short for comparable market formula, and it is a method of valuing property. There are other methods out there, but this is the most common method that is used, and also the one that makes the most sense, I think, for most investors, is to use comparable market formula. Now, what the comparable market formula is really the method that most homeowners are using to value their home's value and determine a selling price. It's also how agents determine what the listing price of property should be. It's definitely the most common valuation method that's currently in use. So how exactly do you perform comps, or what is a comp? Well, the idea behind it is to locate similar properties that have already sold or are currently listed for sale within the same geographic area. Okay, so the idea is to find properties that are similar in attributes. So if you're dealing with raw land, it is looking at other pieces of raw land that have sold or that are currently for sale that are similar in size and location. If it's a house, they're going to be in the same general vicinity, but will be similar in size and features. So what this does is it gives you a good indication of what similar properties are selling for. So here is an example, and the way that we determine the dollar per square foot is by taking the sold price of property and dividing it by the square footage, the total of it. So by basically using that number, we can get the square foot, the dollar per square foot. And that's how we're going to determine or distinguish between these, is by their ultimate cost. So with this example that we have here, the home that we're looking at is an 1,800 square foot home that has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, let's say, with an unfinished basement. And let's say it's built in 1965 with a 2-car garage on a 0.25 acre lot. Well, if that was the property that we were trying to value, then looking at other homes in the area, let's say we found these three examples right here. Well, they're all relatively close in terms of the age and the size here. There's a little bit of difference there, but what you can tell is that between these, we get an average square footage price of $55 per square foot to up to $62 per square foot. Something else that's a factor is how long the property took to sell. This gives you an idea of where it's priced and where that comes in. Now, for us, these are important to us for so many different reasons. Comps are how we determine actual property value. We have to know what properties are actually selling for in order to determine what their value is. We also use comps to set our maximum bid. We need to know what our profit margins are, and comps are how we're going to determine that. It also is going to indicate the best method for selling the property, because we can get an idea of what the market is doing. Comps are also how we identify certain market-related risks. So we may look at an area as we're performing comps and decide that we don't want to buy or sell real estate in that particular market due to what we see through the comps that we perform. So if you'd like more information about performing comps or anything else related to real estate investing, visit taxsalesupport.com for more information.